If you're struggling to maintain a healthy weight, then I've got some tips for you to help you understand what's happening in your body and how to unblock those causes that are stopping you from losing that weight. And often those same blocks that are stopping you from causing weight are the same ones that made you gain weight in the first place. Now, I'm not a big fan of diets in general because I believe that a healthy weight, it comes about from sustained healthy eating and a healthy lifestyle. But let's face it, we all struggle with our weight at different times in our life. So we need programs to assist us to lose that weight and then maintain that weight. And that's really our approach at Happy Healthy You, is giving you the tools to help lose that weight, and then at the same time educating you on what are those blocks for you, the causes that cause the weight gain in the first place, and now what's stopping you from losing that weight. And that's really important. And it's why so many people fail when it comes to weight management and weight loss. It's because they don't understand the metabolic issues at hand. They don't understand what is happening within their body. And even as though they might be eating really well and doing all the right things, but the weight is just not moving. Well, what I'm going to do now is talk you through those primary blocks, how to remove them, and how that interplays with our approach. So the first thing, and the primary block that we see, is actually just eating too much. Now, too many calories in, not enough calories out, not enough exercise. Now, this is a scientifically proven fact that if you eat too much and you don't move your body enough, then the weight is going to come on. Now, that amount that you need to eat, though, however, is different for everyone. And we commonly hear in our communities women saying that, I'm only eating a very small amount. Well, for you, though, there may be issues with your metabolism causing you to only able to eat small amounts because the body is storing those calories as fat. So this calorie in, calorie out concept is where we developed our happy weight. Now, that is just a tool to help you reduce your overall calorie count. So what the happy weight does is it replaces a meal with a low calorie but healthy, and this is the key, a healthy alternative, because a lot of the meal replacements out there are just nutrient negligent. So there's no real nutrition in there at all, whereas the happy weight is based on really quality ingredients. So you're still getting the nutrition, but you're not getting the calories. So we're just launching, we've got 5 flavors now, 2 that are whey-based and 3 that are vegan-based. And that's just a tool. And I really want you to understand this, is just taking the happy weight by itself. Yes, it's going to help to lose a little bit of weight, but really it's a tool to reduce your hunger levels, to replace a meal. And it can be a fantastic way just to remove that primary block, which is you're having too many calories for your energy expenditure. So that's block number 1. Block number 2, and this is what we see so much, are your hormones. Now, for different women at different ages, hormones affect you in different ways in terms of weight gain. So if you're premenopausal, so typically younger than 50 years of age, your primary problem is estrogen, too much estrogen, and your body not clearing estrogen. Now, estrogen is a well-known hormone in the cattle industry, for example. It puts weight on. And if you've got too much estrogen circulating in your system, then it's going to make it difficult to lose weight, and you're more than likely to gain weight. The second element to that for menopausal and postmenopausal women, it's actually the opposite. And, nature's funny in different ways. But so for young women, it's too much estrogen. For menopausal women, it's the lack of estrogen. So what your body actually does is it uses fat cells to produce estrogen postmenopausally and during menopause. So if you're not producing enough of your internal hormones, androgen-based hormones, then the body will use its fat cells to produce estrogen. So it naturally enlarges those fat cells. So they're 2 really important things. And so what you need to do is start to balance your hormones. So for younger women, you need to improve that hormone clearance, and we have products that can help you with that. For older women, you need to stimulate that hormone production. And in both of those cases, Happy Hormones is really a fantastic option because it's an adaptogenic mix. So it signals to your body, to your hormone control center in the brain, to balance its hormones, whether they're low or high. That's how Happy Hormones work. So it's a really important part of releasing that block, which is hormones, because most women have some form of hormonal element when it comes to weight gain and maintaining a healthy weight. Now, the third one is your digestive tract, and specifically your microbiome, or your healthy and unhealthy bacterial balance in your small intestine, large intestine, primarily your large intestine. We have trillions and trillions of bacteria in there, and that balance of bacteria is really important for weight management and also weight loss. And there's been studies done in mice that show if you take the microbiome of a skinny person and implant it into a normal mouse, and if you then take the microbiome of an overweight person and put it into a mouse, then those mice develop the same characteristics as either being skinny or overweight. And if you then mix that around and put the skinny microbiome into the overweight mice, then they lose the weight. So it's a little bit complex, but it's basically showing that your microbiome plays a huge role in weight management. It also plays a really, really important role in insulin resistance. So your insulin levels, and there's a lot of hormonal conditions that have insulin impacts, particularly polycystic ovarian syndrome. But insulin resistance is really, really important as a block for losing weight. So if you're insulin resistant, so you're not metabolizing your sugars properly and you're not putting the sugar where it wants to be, which is into the cells, it stores it as fat. So an insulin resistance is a really big problem in our world today because of all the processed foods and the sugary foods that we have. Now, the microbiome plays a really important role in regulating your sugar levels, and those healthy bacteria are really important that we repopulate those bacteria, and we also feed those bacteria with fiber, which is what they love to live on. So it's no use just taking a probiotic and hoping that it's going to populate your intestine. You need to feed those bacteria, and that's where our Happy Greens is full of live bacteria, but at the same time, it's got prebiotics in the food that those bacteria want to eat. But more importantly, it's fiber. And the more fiber you can have, the better your blood sugar regulation is going to be as well. But at the same time, it is going to help to clear those hormones out of the system, and it's going to feed those beneficial bacteria. So your digestive tract as a whole is really, really important when it comes to weight loss. And if you've got digestive issues, you're more than likely going to struggle to maintain a healthy weight. So it's super important. And so plant-based diet, lots and lots of plant-based fibers and things like kimchi, sauerkraut, these fermented vegetables can really help to boost those probiotic levels that are really beneficial in the digestive tract. Now, all the things I'm talking about here are in our 7-day Happy Weight program. So we're taking all these elements and putting into a 7-day program, and it's a new program that you can follow that will help to take care of all these blocks. So, and it's not just a 7-day program, it's a lifestyle program, it's a diet program. So you do it for 7 days, and then you implement ongoing what you feel is working for you, and that you can then bring together this holistic approach to weight loss. So far we've talked about just calories in, calories out. So Happy Weight helps with just replacing some of those calories. The second part to it is we're looking at your hormones. We talked about lots of hormones in our system, but estrogen seems to be the biggest problem. The third thing, we're talking about digestive tract. The fourth, and a really common block, is your liver function. Now, the liver is involved in so many processes in our body. It's really important for digestion. So if you want your digestion to work well, you need to have your liver working well. But the liver helps to break down our hormones, which is really critical. And if you're getting that recirculation of hormones in your system, then this is a big problem, because your estrogen levels are going to increase. So you need to get rid of those hormone levels out of your system, and the liver's critically involved in that. And the liver is also involved in your fat metabolism via the gallbladder. So if you're not metabolizing your fats well, you're going to store that fat that you're consuming more readily as someone else that may use it for energy. So liver is really important. Then the final thing here is your sleep and your stress management. Now, sleep, interestingly enough, is if you don't get more than 7 hours sleep a night, or so if you're getting 7 hours or less sleep a night, you're 41% more likely to gain weight. 41%. So it's incredibly important, and that's just less than 7 hours. So it's really important that you get that 8 hours and good quality sleep. And when I say good quality sleep, there's a difference between sleeping for 8 hours and good quality sleep. So everything that I do in my life is geared towards getting a good night's sleep. And you can have a look at some of our other videos and articles on sleep and all the things that you can do to get a good night's sleep. So if you're struggling to lose weight and you're not sleeping, then this is one of the primary things that you need to be focusing on. The other side to that is your stress management. And usually if you're not managing your stress levels, you're not going to sleep well. Or if you are sleeping, your sleep is not going to be a good quality. Now, stress management is just really, really important, because if we're stressed, we tend to go for those quick foods, junk foods, comfort foods. So having a balanced nervous system and calm nervous system is really, really important for this overall holistic approach to weight loss. And that's what we focus on. And these 5 things that we're talking about here is calories in, calories out, your hormonal balance, your digestive tract, your liver function is, as we talked about, is really important in clearing those hormones out of your system. Stress and sleep management are the 5 primary blocks that we see in losing weight. There are some other ones. Your thyroid function, your adrenal function can also play an impact, and medications can also have an impact on weight gain. But we focus on these 5 primary ones because we see them as being most common. And when you release those blocks, in most people, the weight starts to move. But it's got to be a holistic approach. You can't just focus on one or the other. Or if you're in tune with your body and you can understand, well, actually, I am sleeping really well, but I've had several courses of antibiotics, so I know my digestive tract is not great. Well, then maybe you need to focus more on that block. But you must remove these blocks. Otherwise, what you're putting in your mouth, yes, it matters, but it's going to make it a lot harder for you. And if your hormones are imbalanced, then it's going to be incredibly hard for you to lose that weight if you've got elevated estrogen levels. It's going to be really hard for you to lose weight if you're menopausal and your body's not producing enough of its own internal hormones. So you've got to remove these blocks if you really want to lose weight in the first place, but keep that weight off. You can go on some fad diet and eat meat only for 3 months. Yes, you're going to lose weight, but it's not going to stay off because you haven't removed those blocks. So our approach is very much this holistic approach to weight loss. And we support you through that, through information, the 7-day program, a range of products to support and release those blocks. But we also have our private online groups that you can get into and ask questions. So we've got our Happy Weight group with about 20,000 women that are going through this weight loss, weight management journey. And we've also got our Reset program, which is a longer program. It's a 28-day program, which again teaches you to eat healthily and maintain these healthy eating habits. In that group, there's over 20,000 people as well. So we want to support you in all areas, not just in here's a product, take it and we hope it works. We know it doesn't work like that. It's a holistic approach to removing those blocks, which is key. And remember those 5 key blocks that I talked about. And if you can do a little bit of a self-assessment and understand what are those key things. Are you eating too much or not? If you are and you want something to, and if you're getting too hungry, then it's the happy weight. How are your hormones? Balance them out with your happy hormones. How is your digestive tract? How is those levels of healthy bacteria? Are they supporting your health or are they not? So that's where happy greens, happy turmeric can come in. The 4th element that we're looking at there is your liver function. So we have happy liver, so we can get the liver function going. And then in terms of sleep and stress, we have our happy calm, which is a beautiful nervous system carminative and just relaxes your system, gets you a good night's sleep. And as I said, from the statistics and the science, we know that if you're not sleeping well, you're going to be gaining weight. So I hope that helps. And that's our approach. It's very much a holistic approach. And if you'd love to join us on that journey, our practitioner team are there for you in our groups. We also have online consultations with our practitioners if you're the sort of person that needs hand holding through that process. And we're here and we're happy to help guide you so that you're not getting into this yo-yo dieting. And what all of our dietary advice is very sustainable. We've got hundreds of recipes which are really tasty, fill you up. And so it's less about deprivation and more about education. So if you want to join us, then we're more than happy to help you on your personal weight loss, weight management journey.